Minisan konnichiwa? Honno rodokukai? Yokuso.
Hello everyone and welcome to another book reading.
Yes, welcome indeed. Well, you can tell which of the two of us is more of a beginner, can't you? But yes, as you can see, we are joined today by our new friend Yagiri, who is here to help him along his journey with learning English and to kickstart me with my journey in learning Japanese as well. So, yes, Yagiri, do go ahead and say hello and introduce yourself to all my cubs.
Okay, I'm Yogiri Sagiri. I'm a beginner to English. よろしくお願いします。Okay. Introduce complete. Perfect introduce.
Perfect, and on our first take as well, I swear. But yes, today we are going to be reading between us the book Breathing Water by Halil Mem.
He walked through
And,
the dry.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Okay, I can read it now. Yes. Let's read. He walked through the dry, crowded streets of Belfair, glad to be among so many strangers. In the wharf of Vivek, he had no such anonymity. They knew him to be a smuggler, but here he could be anyone. A lower class peddler, perhaps. A student even. Some people even pushed against him as he walked past, as if to say, "We would not dream of being so rude." To acknowledge that you don't belong here.
Hey, good start.
Thank you.
Serena Relas was not in any of the taverns, but he knew she was somewhere. Perhaps behind a tenement window or poking around in a dunghill for an exotic ingredient for some spell or another. He knew little of the ways of sorceresses, but that they always seemed to be doing something eccentric. Because of this prejudice, he nearly passed by the old Dunmer woman having a drink from a well. It was too prosaic, but he knew from the look of her that she was Serena Relas, the great sorceress.
I have gold for you, he said to her back, if you will teach me the secret of breathing water.
She turned around. A wide, wet grin stretched across her weathered features. I ain't breathing it, boy. I'm just having a drink.
Don't mock me, he said. Stiffy, either you are cereals, and you will teach me the spell of breathing water, or you aren't. Those are the only possibilities.
If you're going to learn to breathe water, you're going to have to learn there are more possibilities than that, boy. The School of Alteration is all about possibilities, changing patterns, making things be what they could be. Maybe I ain't Serena Rillas. But I can teach how to breathe water. She wiped her mouth dry. Or maybe I am Serena Rillas and I won't. Or maybe even I can teach you to breathe water, but you can't learn.
I learn, he said, simply.
Why don't you just buy yourself a spell of water breathing or a potion over at the Mages Guild? She asked. That's how it's generally done.
They are not powerful enough, he said. I need to be underwater for a long time. I'm willing to pay whatever you ask. But I don't want any questions. I was told you could teach me.
What's your name, boy?
That's a question, he replied. His name was Sarian Winros, but in Bebek, they called him the Tollman. His job, such as it was collecting a percentage of the root from the smugglers when they came into harbor to bring to his boss in the Kamona tongue of the bulk of that percentage. He earned another percentage. In the end, it was very small indeed. He had secretly any gold of his own, and what he had, he gave to Serene Reyes.
Yes, note that. Look, some of the words here aren't even English words. They made up Elder Scrolls words. So you're doing very well with those.
Thank you.
The lessons began that very day. The sorceress brought her pupil, who she simply called Boy, out to a low sandbank along the sea. I will teach you a powerful spell for breathing water, she said. But you must become a master of it. As with all spells and all skills, the more you practice, the better you get. Even that ain't enough. To achieve true mastery, you must understand what it is you're doing. It ain't simply enough to perform a perfect thrust of a blade. You must also know what you are doing and why.
That's common sense, said Sarian.
Yes, it is, said Serene, closing her eyes. But the spells of alteration are all about uncommon sense. The infinite possibilities, breaking the sky, swallowing space, dancing with time, setting ice on fire, believing that the unreal may become real. You must learn the rules of the cosmos and then break them.
That sounds very difficult, replied Sarian, trying to keep a straight face.
Serene pointed to the small silver fish darting along the water's edge. They don't find it so. They breathe water just fine.
But that's not magic.
What I'm saying to you, boy, is that it is.
For several weeks, Seren drilled her student, and the more he understood about what he was doing and the more he practiced, the longer he could breathe underwater. When he found that he could cast the spell for as long as he needed, he thanked the sorceress and bade her farewell.
There is one last lesson I have to teach you, she said. You must learn that desire is not enough. The world will end your spell no matter how good you are, and no matter how much you want it.
That's a lesson I'm happy not to learn, he said, and left at once for the short journey back to Vivek.
The wharfs were much the same, with all the same smells, the same sounds, and the same characters. His boss had found a new tollman. He learned from his mates. They were still looking out for the smuggler ship Morodrung, but they had given up hope of ever seeing it. Tharian knew they would not. He had seen it sink from the wharf a long time ago.
On the moonless night, he cast his spell and dove into searching purple webs. He kept his mind on the world of possibilities. That books could sing. That screen was blue. That water was air. That every stroke and kick brought him closer to sunken ships filled with treasure. He felt magical surge all around him as he pushed his way deeper down. Ahead he saw a ghostly shadow of Morodrung. It must be blowing in a window of deep water currents. He also felt his spell begin to fade. He could break reality long enough to breathe water all the way back to the surface, but not enough to reach the ship.
The next night he dove again, and this time the spell was stronger. He could see the vessel in detail, clouded over and dusted in sediment. The wound in its hull, where it had struck the reef, a glint of gold beckoning from within. But still, he felt reality closing in, and he had to surface.
The third night, he made it into the sledge past the bloated corpus of the sailors, niveled and picked apart by fish. Their glassy eyes bulging their mouths stretched open, as they only known the spell. He thought briefly, but his mind was more occupied by the gold scattered along the floor. The boxes that contained them shattered. He considered scooping as much he could carry into his pockets, but steady iron box seems to bespeak more treasures.
On the wall was a row of keys. He took each down and tried it on the locked box, but none opened it. One key, however, was missing. Phalion looked around the room. Where could it be? His eyes went to the corpse of one of the sailors, floating in a dance of death not far from the box. His hands tightly clutching something. It was the key. When the ship had begun to sink, this sailor had evidently gone for the iron box. Whatever was in it had to be very valuable.
Cyan to the sailor keys and opened the box. It was filled with broken glass. He rummaged around until he felt something solid and pulled out 2 flasks of some good of wine. He smiled as he considered the foolishness of the poor alcoholic. This was what was important to the sailor. Out of all the treasure in the moral during.
Then suddenly, Phalion Winloff felt reality. He had not been paying attention to the grim, tireless advance of the world upon his spell. It was fading away, his ability to breathe water. There was no time to surface. There was no time to do anything. As he sucked in, his lungs filled with cold, briny water.
A few days later, the smugglers walking on the wharf came upon the drowned body of the former tollman. Finding a body in the water in Vivek was not in itself noteworthy, but the subject that they discussed over many bottles of feeling was how did it happen that he drowned with 2 points of water blessing in his hand.
Oh, well, there we go. See, we did it. Oh, that was great. You did great. Didn't he do wonderfully there, guys? Trust me, those of you who have watched plenty of my readings here will know how much I trip over a lot of these Elder Scrolls unique words at times. So, yes, I would say you've done very well there indeed, and that is a very well-deserved little round of applause as well. We love that.
Thank you.
Oh, but I do hope you enjoyed coming and doing this with me today. It's certainly been fun having you and very educational for me as well.
Yes, very, very well, very enjoyed. It was very fun.
Yay! Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Well, I know it is, it's actually so late it's early for you now, so we will let you go this time, but I do hope we're able to bring you back again at some point and we can do some more of these with some luck, yes?
Yes.
Okay, well then, everybody, do go and check out Yagiri's content as well. His channel will be linked below. So do go and try and catch his live streams. I promise you they are so much fun. Because until I see you all again though, stay cozy everyone.